Every gym has this one guy. That one guy gifted from God that despite being really skinny is just magically able to bench press more weight than you do. He then flexes in the mirror like he's a lifelong bodybuilder and leaves the gym feeling like a complete boss. If you have ever wondered how this is possible, I can inform you that strength isn't that related to muscle mass as you think it is, and if you're that one guy, then better skip this video. For those of you having not that much time because you have to go to the gym or waiting in the drive-thru at McDonald's, here's this short overview. Often these guys have a sloppy execution. Those of you being bigger can bench press more weight by having the same amount of muscle. Your physical strength is actually containing two factors, muscular and neurological. Training can help you activate your muscle faster and better. Some guys are genetically gifted to possess high amounts of fast-twitch muscle cells which can generate force faster and therefore bench press more weight naturally. When you see this guy moving the biggest weights, you have to check first if he's really lifting the weight properly. It's easy moving heavy weights when you're doing it wrong. So when bench pressing, you have to control three factors. 1. The speed which the weight is moving. 2. If he's doing the full movement of the exercise, aka full range of motion. And 3. If he's bouncing the weight off his chest. The slower the speed and the smaller the bounce, the harder it gets. An important part in moving weight in bench press is the body itself. Therefore you have to focus on this so-called relative strength. Usually it's easier to move heavier weight when you, for your own part, are a little bit heavier. So when there's a standoff between a 60 kilo guy bench pressing 60 kilos and a 100 kilo guy bench pressing 80 kilos, then there's the skinnier guy who's actually stronger. Also focus on the body structures itself. Having small arms and a big ribcage will result in a shorter movement. Therefore, your body has to produce less force to move the weight. So guys having smaller extremities do have an advantage in powerlifting. Focusing on the strength itself, most people forget that it's not only how much muscles you have, but also how much percent of your muscles you can actually use. Especially in your first few weeks, people tend to double their strength. No, you didn't build muscles so fast. This is mainly because of a better use of your current muscles by your brain, so-called muscle fiber recruitment. But first, what exactly are these muscle fibers? For those of you who don't know how a muscle looks like, because you don't live in my area, just kidding, it looks like this. The biceps consists of two muscle heads that hold on to bones with tendons. If you would, for whatever stupid reasons, cut through a skeletal muscle like this, you will find this structure. The skeletal muscle consists of up to thousands of muscle fibers, which are packed into muscle bundles. When your brain is commanding your arm muscles to contract, for example when you try to lift a chair, it will send the impulse at so-called motor neurons. These nerve cells are linked to up to thousands of muscle fibers, which they then activate, your muscles contract, and boom, the chair is lifted. This whole process adapts to training. During their lifting career, professional powerlifters often increase their maximum weight they can possibly lift since the beginning, by 10 times. And on the other side, their muscles don't grow 10 times. This is genetically not possible, unless of course, they're called the mountain. Speaking of genetics, your muscle fibers can be separated into two different types. 1. The slow twitch, and 2. The fast twitch type. The fast twitch muscle fibers can contract pretty fast and create massive force, but get fatigued pretty quickly, while the slow twitch fibers are exactly the opposite. The composition of your muscle fibers are mainly genetical and can only adapt to exercise in a minor way, meaning world-class cyclists like Lance Armstrong or world-class boxers like Muhammad Ali are genetically gifted to either have lots of fiber type 1 or 2. Having more fast twitch fibers in your triceps or chest muscle can therefore also result naturally in more strength.